my respected seniors, professional colleagues, and my friends. This is my second video on the issue of someone under Section 70. Earlier video was going to be very lengthy, therefore certain points were left out, which I cover now this thing. Section 70 of the Central Goods and Service Tax Act, the provision of this section is also applicable to the other acts, the Integrated Goods and Services Act, as well as the Union Territory Goods and Services Tax. There is a chapter 9 in both of the acts, and under the head miscellaneous, under IGSTS there is section 20, clause 15, and under the UT Goods and Service Tax Act, section 21, clause 16. This says is subject to the provision of the act and the rules made there under the provision of the Central Goods and Service Tax Act shall apply in respect of the inspection, search, seizure and arrest in respect of these two statutes also. When the statement is recorded and person is called, sometimes statement could be taken under extreme pressure, such as summoning a person at 11 a.m. and make him waiting till the evening, and thereafter long hours of questioning has been taken up, and under not only pressure but giving the impression that he can be arrested, his business can be closed, and all other tactics of pressure was being made. In this respect, in the earlier acts, there was a circular number 65/88 CS6 dated 6/9/1988, wherein this Central Excise Custom and Service Tax Department issued, they said that as far as possible, the recording of statement of person where it is not possible to postpone the same should be completed immediately after search of the premises of the person. While recording statements, due courtesy should be extended. If any person is to be summoned, he should ordinarily be summoned on a working day and during a normal working hours. Another instruction letter was also issued, letter number F208/122/89 CX6 dated 13th October 1989, wherever they have said the summoning of the managing director, director and other higher officer of the company. They said at the first instance, higher officer of the company, top management should not be called, whereas the information can be sought from the other working person in the office. The other instructions, although there was issued in Central Excise and Service Tax matters, finance number 207/7/2014 CS6 dated 20th January 2015. This is regarding issue of summon in Central Excise and Service Tax matters. They are also mentioned in this instruction that if a single letter or information or can be asked by sending a polite letter to the company, then at the first instance, a letter can be issued to the company which will serve the purpose of the department for asking the relevant document for investigation. Top senior official of the company in routine manner should not be called and try to be avoided in this proceeding. Further, senior management officials such as CEO, CFO, general manager of a large company or public sector company should not generally be summoned at the first instance. They should be summoned only when there are indication in the investigation of their involvement in the decision-making process which lead to loss of revenue. Although all these were in the earlier law, but in latest on 14th August, the Director General of GST Intelligence, they has issued a broad guidelines in respect of this matter of summons and investigations and such, etc. They said कि as an enforcement agency, it is imperative for the DGI to maintain a balance wherein investigation should proceed strictly as per law, while simultaneously ensuring that no excesses are meted out to the taxpayers and their sensibilities as respected. In this guidelines, outdated 14th August 2020, they said a summon for personal appearance should only be issued when specifically required, and such summon should not be issued repeatedly. Officers should record comprehensive statements in the first instance. It is said that senior management officials such as CEO, CFO, general manager of large company or private sector company should not generally be issued summons at the first instance unless the evidence suggests otherwise. This is said by Directorate General of GST Intelligence. Further, they said that the officers have also been advised to be sensitive toward the sessi or party, and special attention should be given to elderly, women and children present in the premises and such. Children should be allowed to go to school after examining their bags. A woman occupying any premises to be searched has the right to withdraw before the search party entry into the building, if according to the custom she does not appear in public. If a person in premises is not well, a medical practitioner may be called, and religious sentiments of the person under search should not be hurt in any manner. This has been sadly stated in the petition. And one interesting and smart use of Section 70 was made by one of the petitioner when they filed the petition in the Bombay High Court in respect of Trans 1 taking the transaction credit. When they filed this petition, the department has raised the objection that the sessi didn't have, the petitioner didn't have any evidence that why he could not upload Trans 1 within the time. Because the petitioner uploaded Trans 1 on 27th December 2017. But since he was not so technically qualified, and he was not also aware that he should take the screenshot of the system which showing that what is the defect, why he is unable to file it. When this question was put up by the department, then the petitioner moved an application to the learned commissioner and requested him to issue a summon under Section 70 to the GST network to find out what was the difficulty at that time. These provisions have been used to get this information. When this request was filed by the petitioner to the commissioner issued a summon under Section 70 to the GST network, which confirmed that on 27th December 2017, the user had tried to submit Trans 1. However, the same was stuck due to an error relating to incorrect registration number. However, the error reported produced before the court showed registration number was in fact correct and that the system error generated was wrong. What is the moral of the issue in this case? Section 70 can be used as a tool in the hands of the petitioner to get the information in respect of the GST and network also. And there is one of the important case was there when the department acted on the basis of the intelligence agency and central authority has acted upon, and as well as the state also. Then this matter went to the Honorable High Court of Gujarat in the case of Bhavani Textiles, wherever it was taken up the note of the letter DO F number CBEC oblique 20 oblique 43 oblique 01 oblique 2017 GS, whereas clarification was given regarding initiation of enforcement action by central tax officers in case of taxpayers assigned to state tax authority and vice versa. This letter is dated 5th October 2018. Because in this regard, GST Council in its in this regard, GST Council in its 9th meeting held on 16th January 2017 had discussed and made recommendation regarding administrative division of taxpayer and discussed this issue. The recommendation in relation to cross-empowerment of both the tax authorities for enforcement of intelligence-based action is recorded at para 28 of the agenda, note number 3 in the minute of the meeting, which read as follows. What they say, both the central and state tax administrations shall have the power to take intelligence-based enforcement action in respect of the entire value chain. It is accordingly clarified that the officer of both central tax and state tax are authorized to initiate intelligence-based enforcement action on the entire taxpayer base irrespective of the administrative assignment of the taxpayer to any authority. The authority which initiates such action is empowered to complete the entire process of investigation, issue of SCN, recovery, filing of appeal, etc. It means the High Court held that when on the basis of the intelligence agency, central agency has taken up the issue, then that central agency has to complete this issue and case into complete compliance, and it should not be transferred to the state. The question of the statement is important, and we have to examine the statement which has been recorded must be voluntary, not under any pressure. Relevance of this statement and taking the advantage of this statement against the SSC has been mentioned under section 136 clause A and B. In earlier video, I didn't discuss it in detail, but in very short time, I'm discussing section 136 small a. The kind of statement may be treated relevant and may be admitted in evidence in interest of the justice if 5 conditions are fulfilled. What are the 5 conditions? Number 1, the person who made the statement is dead, or he cannot be found, or is incapable of giving evidence, or is kept out of the way by the adverse party, or whose presence cannot be obtained without an amount of delay or expenses which, under the circumstances of a case, the court consider unreasonable. These are the 5 circumstances which have been stated under clause A of section 136, which state the statement recorded in view of the summon under section 70, how it can be relied upon, admitted in the evidence. And further, subclause B of section 136 says, if ever 5 condition do not exist, then before statement is treated relevant and admissible against the SSC, then it is necessary that the maker of the statement is not only required to be present in the proceeding before the adjudicating authority, but the court is also obliged under the law to examine him, and the court has to form an opinion that having regard to the circumstances of the case, the statement should be admitted in evidence in the interest of the justice. In section 136, statement means a statement made and signed by a person on appearance in response to any summons issued under Section 70 during the course of an inquiry proceeding under the Act, then this statement will be relevant against the assessee. Thank you very much for viewing my video. God bless you. Long live. Thank you.